Hi, everyone. Welcome to the live Q&A with Louise. And I do want to make sure that you can hear me okay and see me okay because I'm at home tonight. I'm not at work. And I've got a funny story to tell you about that. Um, but so I don't have my microphone that I usually use. I'm using the microphone on the computer and all that stuff. So I just want to make sure all is going well. So let me know in the comments if you can hear me and see me okay. Hi, Carrick. How are you? I cannot believe that Jeff and I are leaving for Australia in less than 2 weeks. Like, we've been planning this trip for so long. It's unreal that, like, it's actually happening. We are so excited, and we really hope that we can meet up with you in Melbourne. I really hope so. Um, Hi, Joe. How are you? And okay, so I have to ask, what are Tim Tams? Who wants to tell me what Tim Tams are? I don't know what they are. Hi, Barbara. How are you? Hey, George. How are you? Your namesake is around here somewhere. Oh, he's laying down. Of course, laying down at my feet. Um, Hi, John. Good morning. I was just saying how I'm so shocked that I'm leaving in 2 weeks or a little less than. Oh, here's Gus. He's crawling up on my lap here. So, yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, this is a trip of a lifetime, guys. It's 5 weeks. Jeff and I will be traveling all over Australia. We are hitting, no, I mean, obviously not all over because that would take twice as long, but we have a fantastic trip planned and I just can't even believe it. I can't wait. So we'll be posting some videos and things like that. So yeah, I'm just super excited. Hi, Palm Beach, Peter. How are you? Tell mom I said hi. My dog is driving me crazy. Sorry about that. I mean, I don't know why he's doing this, but he's cute as you know what. He's just cute. He's just cute. Okay. All right, baby. Come on, stop. Um, Hey, Joni, how are you? I'm feeling really good, actually. Like, I mean, really good. So, this illness knocked me out for almost 2 weeks. I'm so far behind, or was so far behind. I'm catching up now because we have to do 5 weeks of content, right? 5 weeks of videos, 5 weeks of recipes before we leave. So, they're all done, right? I mean, so it was the worst time in the world for me to get sick. I mean, the worst time. But anyway, life happens that way, right? So anyway, but almost 2 weeks, right? I was probably in bed, and I'm not a bed person. Like, I don't lay in bed. I work through everything. Like, I don't take breaks, guys, right? So for me to not be able to work almost hardly at all for 2 weeks. I mean, like, barely. I ignored all my groups. I ignored Facebook. I ignored everything. I was really sick. Like, it was the worst illness I've ever had in my life. I mean, in fact, a couple of times I was like, oh my gosh, do I have to call 911 or, like, my goodness. But the nurse and me just, self-medicated and we got through it. And Jeff got sick too, but it was kind of funny because he came home to bring the dogs home because I was sick. And he just thought, I'll just get them out of your hair. And we'll all go home. You get rest. Cause I didn't know I was going to be out for that long. This was just day one. Right. So then he ends up getting sick. So he's at home in Bethel Springs, sick for 4 days. I'm in Corinth, which is where we work, sick for 9 days or so. It was crazy, crazy. But I'm all good now. Everything's good. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff says my hair looks good. I went to the hairdresser today, or hairstylist. I don't want to insult the profession because I count on her. So anyone who is a hairstylist, like, you matter a lot. All right. So good. So looks and sounds good. Perfect. Okay. Hey, Craig, how are you? Hi, Spencer. How are you doing? Hey, Brenda. Hi, Leslie. Leslie said she was in Australia a couple of years ago and it's so beautiful. I can imagine. I mean, like, I don't know. It's so crazy. So I don't know if you guys use Facebook Messenger, but there is now, you can change your theme. And Jeff and I don't know, we had a theme. It was a dog theme. And every time you hit like you would hit oh, it's going to give a thumbs up on here if I do this because I'm on my Mac, I think. Oh, it's not working. Oh, okay. Usually if I do that, it'll do a thumbs up. Oh, there it goes on. I don't know if YouTube can see it, but I know Facebook can. But anyway, you can change your theme, and we had it as a dog theme, and I was tired of every time you hit like what would be the thumbs up button, it was sending a dog bone. You know, it was like that was the icon, a dog bone. I got sick of that, so I was changing it. I was looking for something that was kind of animalish kind of thing. Like, I was thinking of Australia, but I found hippos instead, right? Whatever. So just like, why are you sending me hippos? You know, when I would give him like the okay thumbs up, why are you sending me hippos? I'm like, I don't know. That's the theme. So he went in, and apparently now on Facebook, this is the point of the story, because if you know me, like, I'm a roundabout storyteller. So I will tell you all the details, right? So he goes in, and there's AI now, and you can actually make it the theme what you want. I mean, I guess, with a certain degree. And he made it Australia. So now I don't know what the thing is when we give the thumbs up. Let me go look. But oh, it's just a thumbs up. Oh, that's not fun. But anyway, the background is koalas and stuff. I'm gonna have to see if you can change the icon. I think you might be able to. So, I mean, I would like to, send him a koala bear or something like that, every time. Anyway, okay. So John I'm assuming this is the Tim Tam. Tim Tam, did I say that right? Chocolate coated biscuits. Oh, okay. Well, sign me up. I'm going to have to try those when I'm there. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Okay, let's see. I'm going to go down here. Hi, Richard. How are you? Hey, Leanne, how are you doing? Oh, John says YouTube can see. Okay, that's great. All right, perfect. All right, do we have any questions? And while I'm waiting for any kind of questions that you guys might have, and it can be cooking, it can be about our trip, it can be whatever you want to hear, whatever answers you want to hear, because I'm an open book. I'll tell you anything. I did get a funny comment the other day. Somebody called me a grifter. For anybody that doesn't know what a grifter is, like they're con artists, right? An artist. This is hysterical. So on YouTube, I was called a grifter, and somebody demanded to know how much Ninja pays me for pushing all their products and being such a grifter. Oh my God. First of all, Ninja doesn't pay me at all. Never have. And I said to him, I said, actually, you pay me by watching the videos. So thank you. But I'm not a grifter. My God. I mean, I've been called a lot of things, but a grifter, that's hysterical. George said, missed you on Tasty Tuesday, John. Were you out buying haggis for Jeff and Louise? No, we're not doing that. No. Spencer wants to know if I'm going to try Vegemite there. If John serves it, because we're going to go and visit John. So we'll be there for a couple days. So if John serves it, we're going to eat it. We've already tried it. I tasted it live. I found it when Jeff and I were on vacation, because you can't buy Vegemite in the stores in the US. I've never seen it. I'm not saying no stores have it, but I've never seen it. Anyway, where were we? Grand Cayman, maybe? I think we were in Grand Cayman, and we were in the grocery store getting stuff, and we found Vegemite. And so I did not try it there. I brought it home, and on Tasty Tuesday, we tried it. And I actually don't mind it. Like, it's not something I'm going to go for the strawberry jelly, right? Instead of Vegemite, of course, for my toast. I mean, I'm an American. That's what I'm going to do. But Vegemite is kind of like fish sauce to Thai food. So I can kind of see where it really can bring out the flavor. So I think, John, I can't remember if I tried it was it butter and Vegemite, John, or was it just toast with thin thing of Vegemite? It wasn't terrible. I mean, I expected to vomit, really. It smelled horrible, but it wasn't bad. So yeah, I'll eat it. There was something else. Oh, somebody keeps saying you have to eat jellyfish. I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that. And then, oh my gosh, I found a restaurant. They serve tree ants. Literally, tree ants. I don't know. But if I do eat tree ants, it will be live. Trust me. Or at least it will be videoed. I don't know. It's a real fancy restaurant, very high end, and I just don't know. I haven't thought about I haven't figured that out. Oh my gosh. Okay, so and Leslie says if I wanna order an Americano coffee, it's called a long black. Okay, all right, there we go. Um And Leanne, I did not block them because, whatever. I don't pay attention to that stuff. The only time I block people is if they are harassing one of you guys. Like in Facebook, there's some creepy dudes that harass some of the females, and they're just really creepy. They're just creepy, creepy. So I block those people when I find them. If they're insulting to anyone else in the thread on a YouTube video, I block them. If they are cussing and just really that kind of nasty in the comments or really, then I block them. But other than that, I don't care. Say what you want. Doesn't matter. um, all right, let's see. Butter and Vegemite, John says. Okay, yeah, I thought that's what it was. And it was fine, really. Lady says, I cooked your pot roast last night in the Ninja Foodie. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked it. Oh, that reminds me of another funny comment I got. And it was about the pot roast. Surprisingly enough. This person goes on and saying how this should never be shared with anybody. It is a horrible idea. I obviously don't know what I'm doing. You can't, he would get up and leave the table if he was served this pot roast. I'm like, what? That pot roast has to be cooked low and slow, not pressure. I mean, I'm like, what? Yeah, he didn't try the recipe or anything. That's what I love, those people that just don't try anything, but they're just so sure that it's going to be terrible. But it's not. It's a good thing. It's actually pretty damn good. Oh my gosh, John, that's funny. At least you don't have to collect the ants off the trees. I know. Oh, I don't know about this tree ant stuff. I just don't. There's a couple of things I don't really know. Like tree ants, crickets, bugs of any kind. I really don't want to eat. I really don't. But I do want to find more about this jellyfish, although I just don't think I can do that either. I don't know. All right. Carrick is at work, so I think he's either kind of comes and goes when he can, right? So you're secretly watching at your desk. Turn the volume down. All right. Well, what else do we have to talk about? Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, sure. Absolutely. So here we go. Okay. So it was good. Can you explain natural release a little better? Absolutely. Natural release means do nothing. Okay. So it's kind of like a misnomer. Okay. Because natural release actually doesn't release anything. So let me go back and talk about pressure cooking just so you understand if you're not familiar with it. So pressure cooking, when you have built pressure in the pot, there is a valve. And this is with an electric pressure cooker, and they're kind of the same with the canning ones on the stove. But I'm talking about an electric pressure cooker. So when the pressure cooking time is up, you have a couple of options. You can leave the valve in the sealed position, which can be called which is called a natural release, whether it's a timed natural release, which means you do that for a period of time and then manually release the rest of the steam, or it could be a full natural release, which means you just wait until all the steam is gone. And I'm going to explain how that happens. And the pin drops, and then you can safely open up the lid. But now keep in mind, when you're pressure cooking, you're in a sealed environment so that the pot is completely sealed. Okay. Or it would not build pressure. So that's why we have the valve to the sealed position. So when you do a natural release, what that means is you're just allowing the contents in the pot to cool down. As they cool down, the steam that put the pot under pressure reverts back to liquid form, goes back into your food. That's why we do it with meats and things like that, because a quick release, which means immediately after pressure cooking, you quickly release the pressure and release all that steam out. That can actually, if the meat is above the liquid, it can cause some issues with pulling moisture out of the meat or the vegetables. I forget what it was. It's in my course, and I think I captured it, but there was something I was doing and I did such a quick release that I think it was a mushroom. I actually saw the mushroom, which was really big, go, I mean, not tiny, like shriveled or anything. Mushrooms do well under pressure, and it might not have even been a mushroom. But anyway, it was really cool to watch. So with natural release, you do nothing, but nothing's really releasing from the pot. You're just cooling down the contents, which happens even if you're on keep warm. So that doesn't matter. You're cooling down the contents. So the steam reverts back into liquid, goes back into your pot, in your food, blah, blah, blah. And then once it's completely gone, all the steam that created the pressure is gone, then you can open up the lid. Or a timed release, which I do a lot in my recipes, call for, like, let's say 10 minutes. That's kind of a normal time. 10 minutes of a natural release followed by an immediate release of the steam. So what that means is that after the pressure cooking time is done, you wait 10 minutes. And I think the little counter counts up. It's on keep warm. So it counts up. And when it counts up to 10 minutes, then you move the valve to the vented position to release the rest of the steam. So that's a time release. A natural release, full natural release is just when you do nothing. And then an immediate release is when you immediately release the steam. And we do that to stop the cooking process, because while there's still steam in there, just because the pressure cooking time is done does not mean we're not cooking our food. We're still cooking our food. There's still a lot of heat in there, and food is cooked by heat transfer. So we are still cooking the food. So sometimes I found, when I'm testing recipes, that it might be something like rice or pasta or something. Maybe it's in between, like 2 minutes isn't quite enough, but 3 minutes of pressure cook is too much. So I might do a 2-minute pressure cook with a 1-minute natural release, because that ended up being the perfect amount of time to get the texture that I wanted on the rice or the pasta or whatever I was cooking. So there's ways to play around with that, with using natural release, a timed natural release, to sort of continue cooking, but at a lower heat level. So it's kind of like when you turn your stove down from high. This would be like super high, because pressure cooking is super high temperature. So super high down to high, and then down to medium, and then down to low. So as the pot cools down, it's just like turning the stove down in increments. So you can use it like that. And I do that a lot, honestly. So if that did not answer your question, or you want me to explain anything more about that, I'm happy to. I can talk about pressure cooking all day long, because I love it. And I've studied up on it quite a bit. Okay. How would I cook? What is CRS? I don't know what that is. So Carrick, you're going to have to retype that, because I don't know what that is. All right. George says, I'd never eat jellyfish, but I would love to see how it's cooked. I know, right? Is it cooked, George? Is it cooked? I don't know. It could be raw jellyfish. I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to try to find it. Apparently it's a thing in Australia. I don't know. Carrick, John, can you tune into this? I mean, is it a thing? Okay, so John is saying, George, not a jellyfish in Oz I'd eat. So I wonder if I have not looked this up yet. I have to be honest. So somebody could have been pulling my leg when they told me to get jellyfish. So I don't know. I'll have to look it up and see if it's really a thing. Hey, Trisha, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Okay. Any tips for cooking super crispy roasted potatoes in a Ninja Foodie? Yes. Okay. Yes. But it doesn't really matter that it's a Ninja Foodie, but super crispy roasted potatoes in the Ninja Foodie. I'm trying to think if I have a recipe. I have a smashed air fryer, which I kind of like that because they get super crispy. So I'm gonna put that into the George, knock it off. He's licking his foot. let me see here. I'm trying to, these might not be exactly what you want, but I think, I don't even remember what appliance I used, but air fryer smashed potatoes. But they gave the best crispiness with a soft, tender, fluffy potato. These were new potatoes kind of that I used. So I would have to see what type of potatoes you guys have in Australia, because I know it does vary by country what varieties of potatoes you have. Okay, yeah, I think I did use the Ninja Foodie in this one. So here, I will put it in here. And it's funny because I say, oh, I use the Ninja Foodie, which is great and everything, but there's like 5 Ninja Foodies now, at least. I mean, there's probably more than that. There's the Ninja Foodie Grill. There's the Ninja Foodie Possible Cooker Pro. There's the Ninja Foodie blenders. There's the Ninja Foodie ovens, Ninja Foodie pressure cookers. Of course, that's the one I use a lot. And then there's some other ones. I mean, so it's so confusing for everybody. Okay, I have no idea what this person's talking about, so I'm just gonna move on. Hi, Linda. How are you? Hey, Larry. Good to see you. Oh, Laddie, I'm glad that helped. Let me get that comment off there right now. Okay, so John says he has not heard of eating jellyfish, so I'm gonna have to look it up. George is like, I am not licking my foot. Oh my God, so funny. Hey, good gravy. How are you? I could talk about food all day long. I'm just waiting for the questions to come in. So if you have one, bring it and I'll try to answer it if I know the answer. And if I don't, I can look it up, or we can talk about it as a group, because I find that if I don't know the answer, a lot of times people in the chat do. So that's what makes it fun. All right. Hi, Cursor. How are you? You have a speedy and a wood fire. I don't love the speedy, but it's not that I don't love how it cooks or anything. I burn myself on it all the time. So I just sort of stopped using it. I moved over to the combi. I like that better. And the wood fire, I adore the wood fire outdoor grill. I adore it. And in fact, while we're in Australia, we're having a new deck put on where I work, where we film, in order for me to do more videos out there. It's been real challenging to do videos because it seems like when we have the time, because smoking meat and things like that tend to be longer videos, right? I mean, they could be 8 hours, 10 hours of a cook time. So it seems like it always rains. And it's terrible. We put up a little canopy to protect from the rain, but it's still like, who wants to be filming out in the rain? And then we had a windstorm and it blew our canopy up onto the roof, literally up onto the roof, over the house. It was the craziest thing. And the thing was not really damaged hardly at all. But after that, we didn't put it back up because I wouldn't want it to fly up again. I mean, it was secured, but obviously if a gust of wind comes under there, unless you have it anchored down like crazy, like concreted, it can go, right? So I don't want it to damage somebody else's property. So we haven't put it back up, but now we're going to have an actual enclosure screened in where you can use, I'll have a door and stuff. So I will be able to use in the rain, use the wood fire, but we do still plan on keeping it out of the little screened in area, but I can also test recipes if it's raining. So anyway, that was a long answer to not a question, I don't think. Oh my gosh. Oh, so this sounds good. Caramelized onion and cream cheese stuffed and salted peppers are my next experiment. That sounds good. How are you going to cook those? That sounds really lovely. Really lovely. All right, Richard says, for vanilla paste, I was at the store and forgot the proof for vodka and bought 42 proof. Can I buy 100 proof and mix in equal amounts, and will it make it 70 proof? Well, that's too much math for me. Um, that's when AI comes in handy. Like, how do you make 70 proof? You can, though, mix them. You can. And you could use your 100 proof. Okay. So you could also do that. It's not going to make a difference. And are you sure the 42% proof is really 42% proof? Because most vodka is not 42% proof unless maybe it's a flavored vodka or some sort of a blended vodka, because vodka is usually 70 proof, but it can be 42% alcohol. I read up on this because somebody actually emailed me about this, I think. And I think I answered them. Anyway, but yes, you can mix it, because I've seen people do that when they're making vanilla extract. So you can mix it. That's perfectly fine if you want to. And then get it up into the, middle of the ground. Half and half of that will be fine. It will be fine. The alcohol is there just to kind of keep it stable, at room temperature. Okay, let's see. All right, Carrick's saying those potatoes are the same, just different names. Right. Yeah, okay. So the little small ones is what I use. So they're kind of like what I would call not a floury potato, but more of a waxy potato, like a golden potato, like we have Yukon Golds here. It's kind of like that, but they're in the small size. And I just really like that recipe. And so did my husband, Jeff. My husband loves really crispy potatoes. And because you smash them, you get actually more surface area to crisp up. It's just really great. Well, thank you so much, Good Gravy. I appreciate that. All right, which pellets are my favorite to use on the wood fire? Well, that depends on what I'm smoking, but I do like the Kona brand. I have used Camp Chef brand, so I'll talk about brands first. I don't like the Ninja brand, which is just their blend. It's not that their brand is bad. I don't like their flavors too much. I use a lot of fruit wood. When I owned a barbecue restaurant, we smoked on a rotisserie, a very large rotisserie smoker that was wood fired. And so we always used apple wood, cherry wood, peach wood, things like that, depending on what meat we were smoking at the time. So I really love the flavor of those fruit woods. So I use them a lot. Like if I had to pick one that I think is the most versatile, it would be applewood. Applewood just goes with everything. So I love it. But sometimes I'll use maple. Sometimes I'll use the cherry. Sometimes I'll blend them together. Sometimes I use oak. Oak is another one that I think is kind of underrated. And I use that in my smoked tallow because I didn't want to impart any type of flavor into the tallow other than the smoke, like a more of a natural smoke flavor, and without the sweetness that the applewood seems to bring in, so that the tallow would go with anything, that you wanted to saute or sear in, right? So yeah, it depends on what I'm making, but I really love the applewood and cherry wood, probably the most. They're my favorite. I have some pecan wood pellets, but I haven't used them too much. Not for any particular reason. I just haven't had the opportunity. I would probably like to use those with some turkey and things like that. But I don't know, because I did my turkey with maple and oh boy, was that good. So good. Okay. Terry, I noticed the other day that you didn't wash your chicken before cooking. Always thought you had to wash chicken. Ours right out of the package is pretty watery. Okay. So Terry, this is a great question. So number one, in the UK, I think they recommend that you wash chicken. In the US, they recommend that you don't wash chicken. And the reason being is because if you wash it, your sink can become contaminated. If by chance the chicken does have salmonella, then it can become contaminated and people don't think to like bleach out their sink and things like that. I don't really care if people wash their chicken or don't wash their chicken. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I don't wash my chicken. Now, our chicken comes packaged with an absorber underneath. So any juices and stuff are absorbed underneath. Plus, when I get home from the grocery store or have the chicken delivered, because I've been doing grocery delivery lately, I take it out of the package and I usually repackage it in smaller quantities to freeze. So I vacuum seal it. So I don't have any issues with excess, watery juices, things like that. Now, that being said, there are plenty of times when I will take a whole chicken and throw it in the sink because I like to wash out the cavity. I'm sorry, that's how my mom taught me. I dig in there and get all the gross stuff out. Like, not the gross stuff. I don't mean the giblets and all that stuff. I mean, like, sometimes there's like stuff left and I just like to get that out and I salt it. So I have no issues. I mean, I'm not the food police, whether people wash their chicken or don't wash their chicken. That's a personal preference, I think. But with individual cuts of chicken, I don't ever wash it, really. I can't think of one time that I would wash it. Because if I could smell it, I throw it away, so I wouldn't like wash off juices if they were stinky or anything. I know people do that too. It's okay, but I don't do that. But anyway, I don't know why it would be pretty watery. Now, if it's watery, though, I don't understand why you would immediately think to wash it. If it was watery, I would pat it dry with paper towels and then throw the paper towels away. But again, it's totally up to each person what they do. I mean, the FDA and stuff like that, they give guidelines and everybody thinks that they're absolutes, like you have to follow them. They're guidelines and they're guidelines set as general principles and probably over safe, if that makes sense. Like, for example, cook your chicken to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, or you might get salmonella. Now, first of all, the chicken has to have salmonella. That's number one. That's kind of rare, I think, but I don't know the stats, so I'm not going to talk on that. But the chicken has to have salmonella for you to get salmonella. Number two, they say to cook to 165, but if you do that on a larger chicken, and then you let it rest for 15 minutes, they don't take into account carryover temperatures. And number three, you can actually achieve the same amount of pasteurization with time, lower temperatures and time, that you can with 165 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 second, which is what would kill all the salmonella. So you could actually cook chicken, like I sous vide it, and I sous vide it at like 145 degrees Fahrenheit, but I do it for 90 minutes. So pasteurization is both time and temperature. So just because these guidelines say to cook to, X degrees to be safe, they're really talking about for 1 second. So if you can hold a temperature lower for a longer period of time, you can essentially achieve the same pasteurization as the higher temperature. So, I do a lot of research on stuff because food safety is super important to me. I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody, to do something that's dangerous. And so, tons of my recipes, I really have to dig deep. And I'm food safety certified because I owned a restaurant and I had to do that. And I've recently re-upped it because I want to start doing some barbecue rubs and things like that. So in order to get the commercial space that I need, I have to have that certification. So I brushed up again, but yeah, food safety is very interesting. And I love to do research. So anytime you have any questions, you can email me, louise@thesaltedpepper.com, and I'm happy to answer them. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me here in these lives. That's a great time to ask those questions, although sometimes I would have to do some research and get back to you because I don't know everything, of course. But yeah, it's a very interesting subject. But whether to wash chicken or not is up to you. Different countries recommend different things. Okay, and which I found very interesting too, that it's different. All right. Carrick, I don't know what John was talking about, but I will tell you duck fat is amazing, Carrick, amazing. So is tallow. That's amazing too. So they've got higher smoke points, so you can get higher temperatures with them, so you can put your oven up a little bit higher without risking like everything smoking, the oil smoking and stuff. Okay, so here we go. We've got some answers from George. Apparently, it's a thing in Oz. The jellyfish species, which I cannot say that next word, present in Australian waters, is identified as one of the 10 species that are traditionally used as a food product. Okay, George, are they cooked or not cooked when they serve them? Can you do that research for me real quick? All right, let's see. Let's see. Da, 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 da. That's a good point too, John. The moisture content uh, really does make a big difference in potatoes, which is one of the reasons why for some potatoes, like almost all potatoes, I would recommend, even when I mash potatoes, I recommend drying them afterwards. So after you cook them, whether you pressure cook them, boil them, steam them, whatever you do to them, unless you're just totally under a dry environment of cooking, like if you're baking them to make a baked mashed potato or something like that, which that is a thing, you can do that. But anytime you're using water to cook potatoes, which wouldn't necessarily be the case with a roasted potato, but it could be. I mean, you could pressure cook and to soften them a little bit and then air fry. But anytime you're using a wet technique, a wet cooking technique to make potatoes, I recommend drying them out. And I do that just by turning on the Ninja Foodie after they're done, just kind of dry everything up. My employee, who I taught how to make mashed potatoes, but she made them better than me. This was when I owned an assisted living. And she was from Africa and she used to make oh my God, they were so good. And I walked in one day and I said, B, what are you doing? She said, I'm making mashed potatoes. I'm like, well, why are they sitting on the stove? Like, cooling off. She's like, oh, Louise, you have to like sort of partially mash them up and let the steam escape before you add anything else, or they become, too gummy, gluey kind of thing. I'm like, right. She taught me something. And I've upped my potato game since that, right? And that's just, again, getting rid of that extra moisture. All right. Which state are you from, by the way? Okay, I am from Maryland, and I was born and raised in Annapolis, Maryland. Then I lived on Kent Island for a little bit, and Jeff and I moved, I think it's been 6 years almost, 5.5 or 6 years ago. We moved from Maryland to Tennessee. So I currently am a resident of Tennessee, like in between Nashville and Memphis, little rural area that nobody's ever heard of. Our grocery store is like 45 minutes away. It's crazy. But I work in Corinth, Mississippi. So that's where I work. That's where our studio is. Okay, so jellyfish. John is not eating them, but if they're used as a thickening agent, I don't know. This is a little bit too much for me. I don't think I want jellyfish thickening anything that I eat, but I might eat one if it's prepared correctly, but I've got to find out how it's going to be prepared. Okay. Mesquite or hickory? I'm not a fan of mesquite. I mean, there might be a time and a place for it, but I just think it's a little overpowering. Hickory, I would do over mesquite is my preference. But again, the wood that you use when you're smoking, and I'm sorry for the guys and girls that don't know what we're talking about, because I kind of forget that you wouldn't know what mesquite or hickory, what he's talking about, but he's talking about the flavor of wood pellets used in the wood fire. And so just to give you a little background, but I would go with hickory over mesquite any day. And that comes down to when I did a little, I did this barbecue class. I was dating a guy that wanted to get into barbecue. I didn't care about barbecue. I love to cook, but I didn't care about barbecue. In fact, I didn't even really like smoked food that much. But he wanted to go to this class. So we went to this class and some famous guy was teaching it. It wasn't a joke of a class or anything. I mean, it was really interesting. He taught me how to make barbecue rubs and things like that. Of course, I brought my own spin into it. So I did some weird things, and I think he was looking at me like, Oh my God, what are you doing, girl? Because everybody's putting, sugar and paprika and chili powder and all the basic barbecue things in there. And I'm adding sage and, and stuff like that to mine, right? So that rub did win us, though, the competition at the end of the class. So of all the newbies that were there, actually, there were people there that smoked kind of for a living, like they did this for a living, but they were just, there to have fun and I guess learn some things. We kicked their butt. We kicked their butt because my rib rub is amazing and it is on my website. So anybody can make it. It is amazing. I don't know if I have the ingredient sage in that recipe because I thought it would turn too many people off, but it is amazing in a small amount. So I forgot even what I was talking about. Honestly, guys, I totally forgot what I was talking about. There was a point to that, but I don't remember what it was. So moving on to the next question, I guess. Anyway, it was a great experience. I forget. I don't know. I lost my train of thought totally. Okay, was your barbecue restaurant Kansas City style? No, it was, interestingly enough, Memphis style. And I don't know. Well, I guess the guy that I was dating and partners with, he was from Memphis. So I guess that's kind of what he knew. But it was Memphis style. But I like Memphis style better than Kansas City style, I think. I like that sweet heat. So I enjoy that. All right, let's see. Okay, Jane, this is a good question. What is in the future for your channel? More courses, cooking classes, channel membership? All right, this is a great question. So, in case you guys don't know, well, the channel would be the Salted Pepper, which is on YouTube. And I plan on kind of doing the same stuff that I've been doing on that channel. And I'm trying to switch it up a little bit. Not everything's Ninja Foodie. I do oven recipes. I do stovetop recipes. So I'm trying to see like what people are interested in now because the Ninja Foodie, I've got tons of recipes for it. I still cook with it. I still do recipes in it. But they're phasing them out, it seems. So I can't rely 100% on those recipes because as those appliances age out and people cannot buy new ones and cannot replace them, then they're not going to be using the recipes as much, right? So in order to sustain the business, I have to think of other things to do. And so like the wood fire, I'm going to do some of that stuff. And I do the combi and I do the Possible Pro cooker now. And Possible Cooker Pro. It's such a mouthful. It's crazy. It's the Ninja Foodie Possible Cooker Pro. It's a crazy name. But then also oven and stovetop recipes. So that's for the Salted Pepper channel. Now we get into my like more personal area, which is hosted through Kajabi, which people who have a membership, not a membership, but who have purchased my Ninja Foodie course understand that that's what that is. It's called the saltedpepperacademy.com. And so I have offered different things over the years. One is the Ninja Foodie course, which is, oh my gosh, so comprehensive. It's unbelievable. And I also have something called a skills cabinet, which I kind of let go for a while. And my plan is to build on that. So anybody who already has that, because it was an opt-in when you sign up for the course, whoever has that is going to end up having great value out of that. I think it was a $6 thing, and you're going to end up being blown away by what we have planned for that. And I'm just going to keep building on it. And eventually it would become more expensive to buy, obviously. But right now you can't even buy it unless you buy the course. And I want it that way because I'm not ready. I'm not ready for people to really, start buying it because I'm just now really getting into making the videos for it. And then I want to offer private classes, not private, like private one-on-one, although I could, but like bread making and things like that, things that people are really interested in and need some kind of, I'm going to say hand-holding type of instruction, not just let me show you how to do it like I could on a YouTube video. This is an interactive type of thing. So that is in the works. It is timing. Everything is about timing and balancing what I already have going on versus adding in new things, right? So but I have been working on it for quite some time now. And I don't want to say when I'll be like announcing it, where people could actually come over and join this Kajabi. It's not a Kajabi network. It's the Salt and Pepper network, but it's hosted on Kajabi, and it's just private. It's a private area. It's not on Facebook. It's not. George knows about it because he's in one of the groups in there, but I'm not active in there because I spend so much time on Facebook, and not in a good way. Facebook is becoming a joke, a complete joke of a place to be. I spend so much time monitoring these groups for the jerks and the spammers and the this and the that and blah, 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 blah. I can't even help anybody on Facebook anymore. It is so depressing. And every time I go into my feed, I don't see what's going on in my groups. I see follow this AI, profile person who's pretending that they made some delicious recipe where they generated an AI picture and they got AI to create a recipe that probably won't work. And then they create these fake accounts. They get everybody, they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shares, thousands sometimes of shares. And they are dominating Facebook right now. And Facebook is paying them to do that. And I don't want any parts of that. Honestly, I can't stand it. So, all right, I'm on my soapbox. I got to get off my soapbox because I could, again, go on and on about this. So Facebook is a joke. And for people who are serious about, I'm not stopping Facebook. I'm not stopping my groups on Facebook. I don't want anyone to think that. But for people who are really serious about wanting to learn how to cook or being in a community where people are friendly and nice and helpful and supportive and will take the time, like me and other people will take the time to actually explain the whys behind the do's, then this new thing that I'm building is going to be for you. Definitely. Because it is going to be like our own little area of friendship, our own little circle, and I'm super excited about it, but I have not ironed out all the details yet. But anyway, I just announced it publicly, didn't I? But I'm working on it. All right, so that's the future. And also, just so you know, when we go to Australia, we have another channel on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. Oh, Facebook. We have another channel on YouTube called Avoiding Highways that we started. Jeff and I started it years ago when we would take long motorcycle trips. Yes, I rode on a motorcycle. I didn't drive it myself though. I always wanted to, but I didn't. But I was on the back with him and we went cross country. I mean, we went all over the place. Like, I wouldn't say cross country because we didn't go from East Coast to West Coast, but we went all down into Tennessee from Maryland. I mean, we took week-long vacations on the motorcycle. Talk about tough. I couldn't do it today, I don't think, but we had a lot of fun. So we videotape like the tail of the dragon and things like that. And we were going to really get into that. But that was before we moved here. And then the Salt and Pepper blog took off. So we put all of our, concentration there. But now that we're going to Australia, we're going to start posting some of the videos over there. I'm not going to post the videos from Australia on my channel unless they are like food related, because it wouldn't make sense to people. Why would people watch kind of a travel video on a food channel? It doesn't really make sense. So you can, I mean, there's nothing really on it right now, but you can definitely subscribe. And then we also have a Facebook page called Avoiding Highways, same thing. And I will be posting in Simply Cooking with Louise on Facebook, and I will be posting on the Salt and Pepper Facebook page with links going to wherever for these videos. So if anyone wants to keep up with our travels, we're going to try to like edit them and upload them as we go, but we don't know how it's all going to go. So I'm not making any promises, but that's another thing that's going on. So, and then who knows, we might be food blogger by day, traveler blogger by night. Who knows? Anyway. Okay, let's see. Okay, so George is saying in the UK, it's no longer recommended to wash poultry. In fact, it's actively discouraged for the reasons you gave. Okay, that is something new. I did not know that. Thanks for clearing that up. I know when I did the research, I thought a couple years ago that they recommended to wash it. So, okay, I stand corrected. Thank you. Thank you, George. Cursor, Bear Mountain. I think that's who makes them for Ninja, honestly. Now different brands. I personally don't think I've used Bear Mountain. But again, I mean, it would be fine if somebody wanted to use them. I just say trial out different things. I get the little smaller packs to try out when I can. But Camp Chef, I had to go all in, I think, for a big bag of apple pellets, but I don't regret them. I use them all the time. So Kona has a little variety pack, which I think is nice when you have the wood fire to kind of get a variety pack, but they're not cheap. So you can get a whole big bag of pellets for a fraction of the cost that you can get these little variety packs. But it gives you an idea of what you might like and what you don't like. All right. Hey, Doyla, how are you? I know you're saying same here. I don't know what you're saying same here too, but maybe that Facebook stinks. I don't know. Um, all right. Leanne, is there a recipe for a no yeast bread in the combi? No, there is not on my website. That's interesting. I do have a no yeast bread in the foodie. Um, that's a good question. I can try that when I get back from Australia. I can see what changes would need to be made for the no yeast bread. But if you're wanting a no yeast bread because you're like intimidated by yeast and using yeast, please don't be. Buy instant yeast, mix it in with the flour, and it's fine. It works great. It's so easy. And I'm not saying that you are, Leanne, but I know a lot of people don't make bread because they don't want to be fooling around with the yeast and proofing it and stuff. Well, you don't have to if you buy instant yeast. So just buy instant yeast. That's what I've been using lately. I mean, up until probably about, I would say 2 years ago, I always used active dry yeast that had to be proofed and stuff. But I don't do that anymore. I just throw the yeast right in there and I get the instant yeast. Okay. Have I ever tried kangaroo? Um, John, when Jeff and I were on vacation, was it kangaroo sausage that I tried? I know I sent you a picture. I forget where we were. I think it was Grand Cayman. And I think I did try kangaroo sausage or something like that. But I would definitely try kangaroo. I'm sure. I don't know. Like, I don't remember if I liked kangaroo sausage, but that was just sausage that they made. So I don't know. Um, all right. So, John says in Australia, it's not recommended to wash chicken. Okay. So it seems like now everybody's on the same page here. I don't know about in Europe. We'll have to check that out. But, Australia, UK, and the US don't wash chicken. All right. Okay. So let's get to the jellyfish. Um, Let's see. Jellyfish are usually heavily salted. To prepare, they are usually soaked in water to get rid of the salt, then sliced thinly and served in a cold salad. Okay. All right. I can see that. So it's probably going to be, I'm going to guess a little bit like a raw scallop, which are actually pretty good. All right. You still going to smash garlic? I don't know what that means. Um, And Good Gravy wants to know, do I save my bacon drippings for collard greens, etc., the Southern way? Um, I don't make bacon that much. My husband does. So if he remembers, he will save the bacon drippings, the bacon fat. I usually will strain the bits out of it if I'm not going to use it right away for something. But I don't make collard greens that much. And the recipe that I have, it doesn't call for, I don't know what it calls for anymore. It might, I'm not sure if it's collard greens with a ham hock or if it's with bacon. But I would just put in the raw bacon and then pull it out. I don't remember, but I do have a recipe for it. But I use the bacon fat for a warm bacon dressing for a spinach salad. That's my favorite way to use the bacon drippings, or just fry up an egg with. Okay, we've got some fun facts here. The world market demand for dried jellyfish is around 25,000 tons per year, with the main producers being China, Indonesia, and Malaysia in recent years. Okay, dried jellyfish. Okay, well, I would want to make sure that they were from Australia if I was going to eat them. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. They're local wild fish, and I'm assuming you're talking about China, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Their local wild jellyfish stocks have declined, and they have approached Australia for access to our unutilized resource. Oh, interesting. Very interesting, George. Thank you so much for all this. Um, Okay, Carrick wants to know how the recipe book is going. Oh, it's going nowhere. Um, just because of timing, really, it's so much work to put a recipe book together. And by the time I get done testing recipes, because I mean, I can pull recipes off my website, but I mean, and for the Ninja Foodie, I probably will because I think people really do want a print cookbook that they can hold in their hands and things like that. But like how I've got an idea for a Ninja Combi cookbook. I've got an idea for a Ninja Impossible Cooker Pro cookbook. And then I do the recipe work, like the testing. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna film it and put it out for free. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna get this out because I get excited about these recipes. Like when they're done being tested, and I think they are just like perfected, I get so excited I can't hold on to them because I'm like, oh no, somebody might want to make this. I'm going to release it. And then it goes off the cookbook list and onto the, website list. And so I haven't gotten anywhere. That's the truth. I did find a printer in Nashville that will print the books for a reasonable price. So I do have that, which took a long time. So yeah, it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. So listen, on that note too, be careful on Amazon. Any of these cookbooks, if they're not by a reputable person that you can find on the internet and talk to, like me, or I forget the guy's name, but he does Instant Pot stuff. Pressure Luck Cooking. What is his name? I forgot. That's crazy. I forgot his name. Anyway, he has a cookbook out, several of them for Instant Pots. Very reliable. Like I would definitely trust that. The ones that are putting the Ninja Combi cookbooks out, the Ninja Speedy cookbooks out, even the Ninja Foodie cookbooks out, other than the one that is, I'm going to say sanctioned, endorsed by Ninja, which because I think it was their person, Kenzie or something, and their team, put their cookbook out. That would be okay because they really did test those recipes. I mean, I've heard that some of them aren't very good, but they did test them in the Ninja Foodie. These other ones, they're just scams. So what these people do is go around to websites like mine. They steal the recipes and then they put them into a cookbook and they sell them to you. It's a joke. I mean, it's just a joke. They change the wording enough. They change the picture. They use AI or whatever. To do the pictures, and then if they even include pictures, some don't, and then they just sell them to you, right? So you can find those recipes that are specific for the Ninja Foodie, usually on my website or someone else's website. But sometimes, and this is worse. I mean, worse for you. Stealing recipes, I think, is worse for me, but for you, this is worse. They will take slow cooker recipes and just assume that the slow cook function is going to be the same on the Possible Cooker Pro, which it is not exactly the same. Timing is different, probably an hour or so less time in the Possible Cooker Pro because of the material of the pot and the way that heat is conducted in the Possible Cooker Pro versus a ceramic-based slow cooker or crock pot, right? Because they're got a heavy ceramic base usually, like the pot, that's why all these little slow cookers kind of cook differently. It's really because of the way the design of the pot is and the material of the pot and heat transfer. So they'll take a slow cooker recipe from Joe Schmo on the internet, and they'll just put in Possible Cooker Pro, but they'll give you the times for the wrong. It'll be the wrong times. You'll fail. I mean, basically. So unless you're a pretty good cook and you just like want inspiration, I would stay away from the Amazon cookbooks. They just, unless you know the person, can track the person down, like if Louise Long, me, put out a cookbook, you would be able to find me and see that I'm a real person. Same with, what is his name? Jeff, I think, from Pressure Luck Cooking. I think that's what it's called. Pressure Luck, something like that. You can find him. You know he's a real person. So anyway, that's another soapbox. Oh my gosh. Um, Oh, well, good gravy. That's awesome. So yeah, if you sign up for the Ninja Foodie course, there is, I think, a membership group that goes with it, but it's dead right now. Like it doesn't, I'm not in there because I'm changing everything around and I'm changing the layout of the course too. So it is going to be more, I'm going to say, for lack of a better word, Netflix style. Okay. So when you go into the course, it's not this 1970s looking feed thing that I mean, it's really a horrible, to me, great material, great information, but the layout is just not, it's not up to date. And that's how Kajabi had it, way back when I started this, when I did this course, which was been several years ago. And now I've found different templates and things so I can make it a much better experience. And I've already done that for the skills cabinet, which is where I'll be uploading all the little skills, the little things, that just make cooking a little bit easier, or maybe it's a technique that I've found that works better, to do something than what maybe is the norm. And I'll share that with the video. And so the Netflix style course is going to be so much better, I think, for everybody. So if you get in there, good gravy, and you're saying, oh, this is terrible looking, just bear with me. Okay. It's going to be good. It's going to really work out well. But I've never had one complaint about the course as is. So I'm sure when I make these changes, it's going to be really, really amazing. John says soapbox creates 1,000 of happy bubbles. That's awesome. Oh, you're too funny. All right. What can I put a link to? Can you post a link to that, Louise? I'd love to see, but I forgot what you called it on Tasty Tuesday and couldn't find it again. What am I supposed to post a link for? See, I'm so far behind. I don't even know what I was talking about. So yeah, can you tell me what you want a link for, and I'll be happy to post it. All right. Yeah, Carrick, that's awesome. They are still available in Australia. They are not available in the US anymore. So we cannot get them. And that's sad. It's very sad. I'm very sad girl for the Ninja Foodie being sort of phased out, because that thing, I thought, it's not even I thought, I think it's the best small kitchen appliance of my lifetime. I mean, up to date, there's not one thing that surpasses it. Not the Ninja Combi, sorry, Leanne, not the Ninja, whatever it is, the crispy thing, not the Speedy, nothing compares to the pressure cooker and air crisper. Nothing. It's so sad. Anyway, okay. All right. So back to the yeast bread. So you have somebody with the yeast sensitivity. Okay. Yeah, I would think that we could probably figure out how to make that recipe in the combi fairly easily, but I would have to look at the recipe because I haven't looked at that recipe in a long time. Yes, good gravy, yeast free could be dietary law too. Yes. Okay. All right. So it was kangaroo sausage that I tried. It was overcooked. So I don't really remember. Yeah. Oh my God. I am really talking a lot because I am way behind. Hi there, Haley, Hannah. How are you? Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed that recipe. George has given us Carrick says George is obsessed with the jellyfish. And I'm like, oh, I think it's great. I love all these facts. Okay, Barbara. Yes, Jeffrey Eisner. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Glam Doll. How are you? Just got this live from the UK. Lisa here, the cold oil fries lady. Oh my gosh. I just made them again, Lisa. They are amazing. I will talk about that. And thank you for the compliment on my hair. I will pass it on to my stylist. She's just wonderful. It never looks like this when I do it. It never does. That's why you always see it in a braid, because I can't be bothered to blow dry and straight iron my hair. No way. I don't have time for that. So every 6 weeks when I could have my hair done, it looks good for a day. Okay. So let me talk about in case people are in this live and weren't in Tuesday's live, uh, Lisa, who's Glam Dolly, brought up, I believe on New Year's Eve, about cold start French fries. And I was like, what? You're going to put, and these are fresh cut French fries. So you take a russet potato, or I guess whatever potato you want to use, a russet potato, and you peel it, you cut your fries, and you cut them shoestring size or thicker, whatever. And you put them into a pan, cover them, you soak them. You do soak them and you do dry them. Then you put them in a pan and you just cover like a frying pan, deep though, and put enough oil to just cover them. Cold. This is all going in cold. This is amazing to me. And then you turn the heat on, I think like medium. I did medium. And everything just kind of heats up together. You don't stir the fries or anything for the first, I didn't stir mine until I think 20 minutes in. I went and was doing other things on Tasty Tuesday, making other things. The thing was just not heavy boiling. It's not like splashing oil or anything. It's just in there kind of gently simmering. They were the best French fries I've ever had in my life. Literally the best. I couldn't believe it. Now I made them again, and I did it in the Possible Cooker Pro to see if I could use that technique and use that appliance. And I went on low, and it was too low. So I think I will either have to go on high sear saute or try the braise function on that to get that right. But amazing, amazing, amazing. So good. Yes, Glam Dolly, that's right. Timing and cooking methods are critical. You really need to know the recipe author is authentic. Yeah. And there's the lack of authenticity out there in internet land right now is crazy. And you want to hear something else, so I'm going to tell you something else, because this is one of these things that really just bothers me almost as much as food snobs. Food snobs are those people that think that just because you did it differently, you did it wrong. No, because if you liked it, you did it right, period. End of conversation. I don't care if you cooked your steak to 1,900 degrees Fahrenheit internally. If you like that steak, you cooked it correctly. So food snobs, I've got a problem with you too. But that's a whole other thing. But as far as this AI stuff goes, when you ask, so there's some people that are promoting, go ahead and ask AI, ChatGPT, for a recipe. They'll give you a recipe. Like, you don't need to go to Louise's website with ads or anything like that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to waste all your time. Just go over and just get ChatGPT. Just tell them what kind of recipe you want. Okay, go ahead and do that. Because guess what ChatGPT does? Okay, first of all, they're not testing a recipe in a kitchen. They're not tasting the recipe. What they're doing is, as of the date that they learned from the internet, so anything posted after their learning model ended at that point, because it changes, then they'll go back and learn more, whatever. But what they do, this AI computer, what it does is it scrapes the internet, finds recipes that creators like me spent time creating, testing, all that kind of stuff, tasting, spent all the money on ingredients, and they pick little bits from each one and compile a recipe. But it may or may not work, because one person might be using cubed chicken while another person might be using cubed chicken, but it's twice as big. Well, then your cooking times are off. The AI doesn't know that. They don't know the nuances of cooking like that. They only know what people like me have taught them about cooking, because they steal all of our information from our website. And I'm not joking about this. This is the truth. So they only know what we've already put out there, right? It does make it easy. It makes it super easy. I've asked, during doing research on this, I've asked ChatGPT to write me recipes, right? And I'm amazed. But if I say, write me a recipe for Ninja Foodie, X, Y, and Z, I end up really pretty much looking at my recipe, number one, but there will be enough mistakes in there that I know it's not going to work. So I feel like my job's fine. I've got no issues with anyone using AI or anything. I'm not even against AI. I use it myself for certain things, but like, I know if you did that, it's going to be wrong. And sometimes when you type in, give me a Ninja Possible Cooker Pro recipe, they don't even know what that is yet, because it's fairly new appliance. So they're giving you a Ninja Foodie recipe and a pressure cooker recipe or something like that. And you're going to be like, what? I don't even have pressure cook, right? So yeah, AI is not, it's great for certain things. Math problems all day long. Like I will have it cut recipes in half. Like if I want to do a little test batch of something, I'll have it do that math. I still double check it though. But yeah, it's great for so many things, but don't have them write your recipes for you unless you want to test it out yourself, and definitely don't use an AI recipe for if you're entertaining or it's an important day in your life, because it most likely won't work. And I say most likely, that's kind of an overgeneralization, because I would probably say of all the recipes, like if I had it create 100 recipes that I would consider of equal complexity, I would say of those 100, I'm kind of throwing out numbers because I really don't know. I would say 30 might work out of 100, 30% success. I think it won't. The rest of them won't. And that's based, I say I'm throwing out numbers, but I'm really not. That's based on me actually looking at a lot of AI recipes on Facebook these days, okay? Because that's what we're inundated with. In fact, when I get back from Australia, one of the things I want to do for like TikTok kind of thing, it's not totally off brand, but for TikTok, is I want to make these short videos. I'm going to make these recipes. I'm going to make these recipes on TikTok, like real short videos, to show you guys what it actually turns out like, because I think it's going to be hysterical. I mean, I don't know if you've seen like the pies that have the whole strawberries where you can still see every detail of the strawberry in there. I mean, that is complete BS. Once you cook strawberries, you're not going to see that detail. So it's all fake. It's ridiculous. I can't stand what's going on. I really can't, in case you don't know. I think if you've watched me long enough, oh my gosh, I cannot stand tricksters or people like that, people that take advantage of other people. I cannot stand. And that's what these people are doing, because Facebook is paying them to do it. It's ridiculous. It's a get rich quick scheme, and it's unbelievably horrible to me. Hi, Kate Chase. How are you? Yeah, those fries did look good. And Barbara, yes, I did eat frog legs. I did do that live. That was funny. Okay, so Barbara's saying that Bobby Flay cooks his fries like that at his restaurant. I had never heard of it. Like, I've never heard of cold start French fries. But oh, Carrick, that just warms my heart so much. If you cook something and you like it, then yes, it's perfect. That's why I fell in love with the salted pepper. Real food, real people, real simple. That's right. For real life. And that real life, like I would have never been able to guess in a million years that slogan, which is, what is it? Well, when it's salted pepper, we cook for real life using real food, real simple, right? Never in a million years would I think that actually came out to be like something important, because now people are talking about real life, real people, like, because AI has made everything kind of questionable these days, right? I mean, you just don't know if what you're seeing on social media is the truth or not. So the push for being real and authentic is really coming forward in 2025, and I'm just excited about it because I've always been that way. So, and some people don't like me, and I don't care. I don't care. I am authentically me, and I don't care if you like me or don't like me. Well, I like that you like me, but I don't care if you don't like me. It's okay, because I'm not for everybody. I get that. And AI will never take over from flesh and blood humans in any creative sphere as some fear. It cannot replicate real experience. It cannot. It cannot, Lisa. It absolutely cannot. And it's just sad that there are people that see these beautiful pictures, and some of them are very beautiful, and some of them are very hard to detect that they're fake. I just happen to know how hard it is to take pictures like that. And I'm sorry, but one of them is like grandma's kitchen or something like that. Grandma isn't taking pictures that look like that. Grandma is not doing that. That would be a professional, I mean, a absolute professional photographer that specialized in food styling and food photography taking those pictures. And they're not taking those pictures and posting them on Facebook, because those people are taking pictures for magazines and things like that. And some food bloggers are very talented too. And some food bloggers will actually pay to have their photos taken. That's fine. If you want to pay somebody who has more talent than you, I wish I could afford it, because I would, because I'm terrible at taking food pictures. But people, food bloggers like myself would pay somebody, a professional photographer, to do their photos for them. And that's perfectly fine, but you're still going to know that they're real photos. I mean, these AI generated things, you can pretty much, if you look hard enough, you can almost always tell. I don't think any have gotten by me. I've been saving them. So I know what recipes to try to have fun making on TikTok when I get back. If TikTok's even here, I don't even know, but it doesn't matter, because I can put it on Reels for Facebook. I might as well get paid for Reels on Facebook, right? All these hacks are doing it. I mean, they're all posting all these stupid videos that won't work. And they're making tons of money. I mean, there's a lot of money to be made on Facebook if you want to play that game. I'm not playing that game, so I don't really make any money on Facebook at all. But I can play my own game, making fun of the people that are playing that game, right? So anyway, it'll be fun. All right. Oh, that's awesome, Pat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah, that's right, John. You'll be able to vouch that I am absolutely real when we meet in Australia. And Carrick, I hope we get to meet up too in Melbourne. And I think I said that wrong. Anyway, I'm just excited. I'm so excited to go. Thank you, Good Gravy. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That's right. Pay those people that aren't your tribe no mind. That's exactly right. If they don't like me and they want to criticize me, that's fine. I don't take offense to that. I take offense when they criticize other people. Like, I'm one of those people. I'm not a bully, and I hate a bully. And so, but I can handle a bully, right? I can handle them because I'm pretty confident in my skill level of cooking and teaching and things like that. So I can handle bullies, and I can be real snarky if I want to. But when I see a bully picking on somebody else and putting them down for the food that they're making, that is when I blow up. I cannot handle that. That will drive me bananas. And I do pay them mind. I will pay them mind. I will pay them a lot of mind, because, I just want to reach through the screen and strangle them, to be honest with you. And that's why the Facebook is driving me crazy, because there are some rude, condescending people in these groups, man. It's unreal. I mean, it's unreal. I can't. It's so hard. And I feel like I'm the damn police. I'm like the Facebook police. It's such a waste of time. Anyway, oh my gosh, this breaks my heart. A foodie YouTube person who does food videos had her Facebook page hijacked by hackers. Facebook wouldn't help her, so she had to abandon her own Facebook account and all her food content. Criminal theft of her hard work. Absolutely happens all the time. All the time. That is why we are told over and over again, like, number one, I have like crazy passwords and stuff, and I don't use the same password for everything. And they're all stored somewhere else. And we have double, whatever that's called. There's a word for it. I don't remember. But anyway, I have to jump through hoops. If I ever sign out of Facebook, I got to jump through hoops to get back in. But I do that for security reasons. And then we also have, just Salt and Pepper has an email list, because at any point, somebody could hack into something of mine and kick me out of it. And if that happens, at least I have my email list where I can email people directly and say, oh my gosh, this is what's happening. This is not me. Blah, 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 blah. It's sad what's happening. And they do it on Facebook too. Oh, yeah. absolutely agree with that 100%. Yes, I 100% agree with that. It's very sad. And as long as they get paid to like be lazy and do all this crap that they're doing right now, I mean, they're going to do it. It's crazy. Um, a bad case of no-italitis. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot, Carrick. That's funny. So yeah. All right. Well, we've had a good chat. I've enjoyed tonight. I'm a little wired, I think. I'm a little excited about Australia and like it's becoming so real. And I'm also excited that I can't believe this. I have Wednesday's video done. I'm dropping another video this week. I think it comes Thursday. So I have a video coming out on Thursday with a recipe that's already written on my website, and it's going to be posted the same time. I've already got my recipe for Sunday done, written on my website. This is unheard of. Okay, guys, unheard of. Usually I'm that morning trying to write it up. And I have the next week's video already done. And Jeff is working on then the next Sunday one, and that's going to be done this week. So we are in good shape to have all 5 weeks of our content done and ready to go for our trip to Australia. I'm just so excited. I can't wait. Lisa says, I loathe Facebook. I had to promote a book on there once when I was done. I never went back. Way too much. Yeah. And gossip. Yeah. And craziness. Oh my gosh. I know. It's so crazy. Unbelieve. Okay. I don't know what's going on between George and John, but I'm just going to laugh. Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. I know it is a major event. It's going to be so fun. I just cannot wait. It's going to be so fun. I am a little nervous though, because I've been watching the weather. And yeah, it's going to be fun, Lisa. It's going to be amazing. But I've been watching the weather and it's like still in the 90s, like high 90s there. So like, I'm hoping I'm packing enough light weather clothing. I'm so nervous. I'm going to be like, I don't know. It's so hard to pack for a country you don't know at all. And even though John's given me tons of tips, I just still feel like, we're going from one side pretty much almost all the way to the other side. So we're going to be encountering all kinds of different weather. And it's like, I don't want to overpack, but I don't want to underpack. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. All right. No, I think George, we're having we're planning on doing Tasty Tuesday. I mean, obviously there could be something that comes up, but I appreciate that. But yeah, I think we'll be there for Tasty Tuesday, and that'll be our final farewell. See you later for 5 weeks, and we won't be back, live doing this style of stuff for 5 weeks. The time difference alone is kind of crazy. So I will try to remember that Wednesday mornings, maybe I can pop in at the normal time and just say hi to everybody and like give an update, every week and tell you where we are and what we're doing. I can try to remember that, but it depends on where we are and what we're doing. Really, if I'm in a place where I can actually do that. We do have some equipment that we're taking. We do have a GoPro and we do have a little, I don't know what it's called, but it's a pretty cool little thing. I think Jeff calls it a gizmo. I don't know if that's real or name or not, but anyway, it does recording and it does audio all in one, and it's pretty cool. So yeah. We're gonna do our best to be seeing everybody. Not so you guys don't forget about us while we're gone for 5 weeks. Casey or K Chase, we are going March 3rd. We leave March 3rd. And we get there on March 5th, which is, I think, funny. So we leave on March 3rd, get there March 5th because of the time change. And we come home April 8th or 9th, something like that. So it's good amount of time. Maybe not quite 5 weeks, but almost. It's a good amount of time. So Carrick, yeah, you say dress in layers. That's kind of what I'm planning on doing. But like, this is like a thicker kind of flannel shirt. And then I have like one of these underneath of it. I think this is going to be too heavy, something like this. So I brought some lighter ones, and then it's always hot here. Okay. So good. I'm on the right page here. Dress in layers and it's always hot. All right. Um Oh, John, yeah, and he's been telling me, we do have shops in Australia. You can buy something if you need it. When you're a fat girl, it is Jeff could go in and buy whatever he wants. Me, buying clothes is not a fun thing when you're a fat girl. It's just not. And I cannot even imagine trying to do it in Australia and find something that I liked. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll have some style of clothing that looks perfect on me, but it is highly doubtful. So I need to be prepared, right? And I don't think I have enough like everyday dress shirts. And I'm sorry, guys. Anybody can sign off whenever they want to. I mean, this is just me kind of talking. It has nothing to do with cooking, but yeah, I don't know. I'm nervous about that, but we're trying not to overpack. Oh, Jeff is watching Osmo. Okay. So it is called, I said Gizmo. It's not Gizmo. It's an Osmo. Oh, funny. All right. All right, let's see. Yeah, we did build downtime. So, and this was at John's insistence because I don't know that I would have really thought of it. But we made sure every place we're going, I don't think without exception, we are there at least 2 nights. But more likely we're there 3 nights. There's 2 times we're there, I think 3 times we're in a place, balloons are going, for 2 nights, but mostly we're somewhere for 3 nights. And then 5 nights, I think at John's. And then, in Tasmania, we do have a couple of 1-night stops, but maybe just 1. And then we go over to Hobart, and we're there in Hobart for 2 nights. And then we go over a little bit. It's still Tasmania, but it's a little bit, I don't know where it is. Jeff would have to tell you. But we rented a nice house with a pool and things like that. Whether we use the pool, I don't know, but it's got alpacas that come up to the door. I mean, how could you say no to that? Alpacas that just are there at the door when you wake up in the morning, and chickens that are just there. I'm loving this. So, yeah. So we have downtime, but we also have a lot packed into it, like a train ride, a ferry ride, 2 ferry rides, actually. We have a lot packed into it. So, all right. Yeah. So, it would be the Oz Tasty Tuesday would be a Wednesday morning. So John and I, we don't know what we're doing, if that's going to happen or not happen or whatever. So, anyway, it'll be fun. It'll be fine. Okay. John says we'll find plenty for you in shops. We're not that backwoods. I get that, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to find clothes for fat girls. It really is. I'm sorry, but you don't understand that. It really is. Yeah, John, I think we are there 5 nights. What? Can we not be there 5 nights? Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. 5 nights, but we can get a hotel. That's so funny. All right. And John, we didn't plan any overnights anywhere else while we're there, but because we wanted to see what you guys wanted to do before we did anything like that. If you want us out of your hair, you let us know and we will go middle of the time or whatever. We'll go and run away for an overnight or 2. Yes, I'm looking forward to the Beagles, John. Definitely looking forward to the Beagles. Yes, it is going to be amazing. I cannot wait. London to Brisbane. I wonder how long of a flight that is. I know our flight, I think it's 12 or 15 hours, something like that. Anyway, that's, I think, going to be kind of um, kind of a thing. I've never been on a plane for that long. I mean, I don't mind flying or anything like that, but that's going to be a long time, really a long time. All right. I missed the Ninja Foodie Pots in the official web because I'm interested in the most recent product. Oh, also, but they don't sell it anymore. Are they discontinued? Well, I'm afraid I think they are discontinued in the US or at least temporarily. I don't know. I don't have word from Ninja. They don't talk to me. I don't talk to them. I don't have any insider knowledge or anything like that. But I mean, everything's pointing to they're not making them anymore. It's even hard to find the 2-lid models. So, yeah. Now, um, yeah. I wish I had some concrete information, but I don't. So sorry, but I just don't think. I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. I hope they bring it back. I hope they're doing a design change or something. I hope so. But I don't know. I don't think so. I doubt it. It's almost been 2 years now since they started to kind of go down in availability. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna come back. It's been what well, maybe not 2 years, a year and a half, year and 3 months, something like that. All right. Yes, I guess you are. So Carrick was saying, being in Australia, they're used to long flights. We have no choice. Yes. Um, it's just amazing that it's literally around the world. It's just so crazy. Oh boy, 22 hours. Phew. So we are flying Delta, and we're flying not in the bed seats because they were astronomically expensive. But there's Comfort and then Comfort Plus. So we have Comfort Plus, which has a reclining leg rest. Oh, I don't know. It wouldn't be reclining leg rest, raising leg rest, whatever. A leg rest. And that's all I care about. And I'm packing a blanket and a little pillow. A little pillow. I'll be okay. And I'm going to take something to go to sleep, I guess, when it's time to go to sleep. Um, okay. Yeah. John saying you could buy an Australian Ninja on Amazon and pay and buy an adapter for power. Yeah. But could you imagine how much that would cost to get to the US if that's where the person lived? That'd be astronomical. I mean, astronomical. So yeah, I don't know. It'd be crazy. All right, guys, I'm going to say good night to everybody. It's been fun. We didn't do too much talking about cooking, but a little bit. And we've got some great information about jellyfish. So I'm going to be looking into that and seeing where I might be able to find those in Australia because I think I'm okay with trying it. Ants, I'm not sure about, but yeah, I think jellyfish I might be able to do. And 15 cocktails and the flight will only be 10 minutes. That's right. I know, right? So I'm not going to rule out a cocktail or two on the flight, to be honest with you. I'm not going to rule that out. But also you certainly do not want to fly all night, get to Brisbane and have a hangover, right? Oh my gosh, no. Hey, stop eating George's food. Gus, stop it. Gus, I didn't know there was food left in the bowl from dinner, and now Gus is eating it. He has prescription food. Gus, stop. Oh my gosh. Well, you can't stop him. I can't stop him. It's over now. He's eating it. It's just a few. All right, guys, listen, I've kept you long enough. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. And I cannot wait to tell you all about my trip. And it's just going to be exciting. But we will see you next Tuesday for Tasty Tuesday. And also, I will be doing the premiere this Sunday and I think next Sunday. And then I'm going to set the videos up as a premiere, I think, and let everyone, it's a different group of people, except for Craig. It's a different group of people that do these lives versus do the live premiere chat on Sundays on YouTube. But I think I'm going to leave those open and just let people know I'm not going to be in them unless it just happens to be a right time in Australia, because I don't even know what time it would be in Australia, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock Sunday mornings. I'd have to see 10 o'clock Central Time. I have to look and see. But anyway, it's going to be fine. All right, so Lisa, I got something funny to tell you. So Lisa says that she's a nervous flyer, and I can't, and she can't board without at least one large gin and tonic. So I got a funny story for you. When we were traveling, and I can't remember if it was to Grand Cayman or it was, I don't even know if it was just in the US. I don't remember. We were on a flight, okay? And I believe we were in first class this time, which is a splurge. Okay. But if the price difference isn't too much, I will pay for it because it's just incredible. And I'm sitting there and all of a sudden we're getting ready for takeoff, right? And all of a sudden this like voice comes up loud and it says, I wish I could remember. Maybe Jeff, if you're still watching, you can remember the exact words because I'm going to fail this story terrible because I cannot remember the exact words. But basically, it was like something failed, try again. Like as we're getting ready to take off. And it sounded like it was coming over loudspeakers. Like it was, it was something, it was hilarious. Like I was like, what is that? The guy was laughing because he knew exactly why I was freaking out, and he was laughing because it was his iPad that was talking, right? And it was something that he was doing on it, or it was a computer, iPad, or something like that. Oh, yeah, yeah. Something went wrong, real loud. Something went wrong. I'm thinking it's the pilot telling, like by mistake, saying over the loudspeaker, something went wrong. But other than that, I'm not normally a nervous pilot or pilot. I'm not a pilot. My husband's a pilot, but I'm not a nervous flyer at all. In fact, I would rather fly in a small airplane with my husband as the pilot than drive in a car with him. And that is the absolute truth. So I'm not afraid of flying at all. Maybe because I don't know how to do it myself, so I don't have any control issues. Like driving a car, I know how to do that. I have control issues. So anyway, all right, guys. Good night. Love you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye. And thank you. I didn't see this one. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're in Mexico and now the U.S. The Spanish voice is ugly. Oh no, that's a shame. Oh my gosh. Okay, my dog is really telling me I gotta go. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Love you guys. Talk to you later.